Our next portion is going to be celebrating John Rhodes himself. Please welcome. I got to split it up.
Dr. Rob Quick and WP alumni.
Thank you, Dave, for that. Thank you. Absolutely fantastic. Well said. Well said. What are the hallmarks? What are the hallmarks of a great professor? Surely someone who is an expert in their field, right? Someone who knows what they're talking about, who can teach that material, who can tell you what it's really like. Absolutely. All those things are absolutely crucial. What makes a professor truly extraordinary is someone who genuinely cares about the students that they teach. Someone who is invested in them, wants them to succeed. Someone who, in the stressful classroom environment, is a source of calmness and collectedness and wisdom, and someone who is always there to encourage and wants to see the students do their best. This, by those measures and many more, John Rhodes is probably one of the best professors we've ever had here when in Paterson. He's our finest. And it's not just me saying that, and it's not just the students who are sitting here who've experienced John's classes. My friends, John has been here for a while, and the legacy that he has as a result of that is quite impressive. In fact, I could just tell you about those years, but I thought it would be far more appropriate that you'd hear for yourselves from people who were directly affected how John Rhodes changed their lives and has changed the lives of so many students who've come through here. So with that in mind, I'd like to invite down to the front Ira and Mike from the class of 2000 and 2001.
Well, hello everyone. Good evening. My name is Ira Thorpe from the William Paterson class of 2000. It was actually William Paterson College when I started here. This is my good friend Mike Santacieri from the class of 2001. And clearly there's a security problem here at William Paterson because 18 years later they let us both back in the building. Dave Maltese talked about the importance of getting involved, and Mike and I were both very involved during our days here on campus. As a student from 95 to 2000, I was heavily involved with WPC-TV, Newsline, WPSC-FM, the Beacon newspaper. Loved every minute of it. Lifelong friendships were made that continue to this day. And we're thrilled, obviously, to be back here today. 18 years ago, I actually stood in front of this very room and, in a very questionable decision at best, received the Maltese Award for Best Male Talent. I still have that certificate, and I don't think we had the cool trophies back then. We've really stepped it up, but I have that cool certificate hanging on the office wall at my full-time job. And while I chose not to go into a career in broadcasting full-time, my education here at William Paterson led me into a career actually in college athletics. I'm currently the Director of Athletic Communications at New Jersey City University, and I've continued my broadcasting career and public address announcing career as a college announcer on ESPN3 and NCAA.com. I have the good fortune to get to work at MetLife Stadium as the press box announcer for the New York Giants for the last 4 or 5 years, and even been able to announce soccer games in front of 25,000 people at Red Bull Arena. Really cool. And it all started here with the education that myself and that Mike received here. And because of that education, I've never been afraid to have a microphone in front of my face, and also never afraid to fail. And I think you can say that about a lot of the broadcast alumni who aren't afraid to fail and try new things and see what works. Last fall, I was invited back to campus for the first time in 18 years. They gave me this really cool tie, which I decided to wear today, to MC the William Paterson Athletics Hall of Fame. Real cool honor. It was fun to be here, and it got me talking with our alumni relations staff about the professors and staff that made a lasting impact on our lives and our days here at Willie P. Folks like John Kiernan and Dan Cleary, Professor Maltese, who I unfortunately never had the good fortune to have a class with, Professor Barry Morgenstern, Professor Nutter, and others who, so many, it's hard to name them all, but If you were involved in the broadcast program, whether it was TV Sports or Newsline or simply just taking classes, there was one man who seemed to touch the lives of hundreds of students over a long period of time, and it was Professor John Rhodes. Until today, mostly my own fault for not coming back to campus, I haven't spoken to Professor Rhodes in about 10 years. I don't think he's on Facebook. He's definitely not tanning himself on the beaches in Monmouth County down where I live. But I never forgot how great of a professor and mentor he was to me and to my classmates like Mike. And after talking with numerous classmates of mine that also never forgot his impact, regardless of what career paths we took in our lives, none of us ever forgot John. So in the fall, I mentioned to Rodney and Janice in the Alumni Relations office that when Dr. Rhodes retired, we should do something special to honor him. Little did I know from that conversation he was actually planning to retire just a few months later. Threw us for a loop there. So, today, with the current contributions of a handful of my classmates, including Kevin Burkhardt from Fox Sports, who I just got off the phone with before I arrived here, and hopefully with some future contributions from other alumni and faculty. Mike, want to come up here with me for this part? We are pleased to announce that we have raised funds to create the Professor John Rhodes Scholarship. John has no idea. Mike and I were just talking to him in the hall and talking about the past. Just trying to also gauge if he had any clue, because we were talking about it amongst ourselves on social media for a few weeks now. But Professor John Rhodes Scholarship, it will be awarded for the first time in the fall of 2018 to a William Paterson Communications major with a concentration in broadcast journalism. And additionally, we now have a very ambitious goal over the... And I see some people smiling around the room and thinking, that could be me, and it could be you. And we hope it's you, and we hope that you have that ambition. But we also have been talking amongst ourselves, and we have a goal over the next 3 years. He's holding some really fancy envelopes here. We would like to raise about $25,000 over the next 3 years and make this a fully endowed perpetual scholarship. So we ask alumni and faculty and current students, if you got the extra bucks lying around, ask mom and dad. We'd like you to ask you to consider donating. And that way we can celebrate the legacy of Professor John Rhodes for years to come with an annual awarding of the Professor John Rhodes Scholarship. So thank you, John, for everything you've done in our lives. We're all, are you 40 yet?
Almost, 39.
Oh, I am 40. Thanks for rubbing that in. Go Pioneers, and we are really thrilled that we're going to have this opportunity with the Professor John Rhodes Scholarship.
Dr. Crick wants me to say a few words. So, well, I started 28 years ago, and I think Diana Peck was here then. Tony Maltese was here, not many others. We didn't have computers, and in fact, we used to come to work on horses. Remember that? Actually, the building was completely different. We lived and worked in the back half, and the front half was, what was it, geese? Anyway, yeah. This is a great honor for me, everybody. I didn't expect it, and I really don't know what to say, except that if I succeeded, it was because I had really, really great students. And that's as much as anybody can say, I think. So thank you all very much, and on with the show.
Can't let you leave empty-handed, sir. John, you are a legend, and you're going to be missed. You are simply irreplaceable. And we wanted to give you something. So this is a special award for John.
Okay, should I read it?
Yeah.
Or maybe you could read it.
Well, it just says,
British accent gives.
presented to Professor John Rhodes for outstanding dedicated service 1990 to 2018. And the quote is, "I am not a teacher, but an awakener, Robert Frost. John Rhodes.